What if I told you? A slow, heavy bomber, never meant for dogfights, faced the most deadly fighters of its time, outnumbered, outgunned, and still walked away alive? This isn't fiction. This is one of the most unbelievable air battles in history. From the skies of the Battle of the Coral Sea, May 8, 1942. The Pacific Ocean stretches endlessly beneath a sky filled with tension. Below, somewhere beyond the horizon, two massive naval forces are hunting each other. Above, 8 American dive bombers patrol the skies. These aircraft are Douglas SBD Dauntless dive bombers. Not fighters. Not built for speed. Not built for dogfights. Their job is simple. Find the enemy. Strike hard. Get out. Inside one of these aircraft sits Lieutenant Stanley Vejtasa, with his rear gunner, Frank. They're scanning the skies for Japanese torpedo bombers. But then, everything changes. A shadow appears behind them. Then another. Then more. 9 enemy fighters. Mitsubishi A6M00s. Closing fast from behind. The most feared aircraft of the early war. Fast. Agile. Deadly. And they're coming straight for them. There's no time to think. Only react. Vejtasa pushes the nose down. Hard. The Dauntless plunges toward the ocean in a desperate dive. Behind him, chaos erupts. The formation breaks apart. Machine guns rip through the sky. 3 American bombers, gone in seconds. Shot down before they even had a chance. The Zeros swarm like predators. They're faster. They turn tighter. They own the sky. Vejtasa knows one thing. He cannot outrun them. So he does something no bomber pilot is trained to do. He turns toward them. A head-on attack. It's madness. As a Zero charges directly toward him, Vejtasa opens fire early. His .50 caliber guns roar. The Zero pilot flinches, forced to break off. At the same time, Frank in the rear seat unleashes a storm of bullets. For a brief moment, they push the enemy back. But it's not over. It's just beginning. Now it's worse. 3 Zeros lock onto him. 3 against 1. And he's in a bomber. No speed advantage. No maneuverability advantage. Only one thing left. His mind. Vejtasa realizes something critical. The Zero depends on speed, momentum, precision. So he decides to break that rhythm. He pulls into a hard turn, pushing his body to the limit. Then suddenly, he deploys the dive brakes. The aircraft slows violently. The Zero behind him doesn't expect it. It overshoots. In one split second, the hunter becomes the target. Vejtasa lines up the shot. Fires. The Zero is hit. Damaged. Forced out of the fight. This isn't luck. This is adaptation. This is survival. But the fight isn't over. 2 Zeros remain. Now they coordinate. They attack from different angles. One distracts. The other hunts. Vejtasa pulls harder turns. Harder than the aircraft was meant to handle. Harder than the human body was meant to endure. Up to 10 gs. His vision narrows. His body strains. Every second, closer to blackout. Behind him, Frank fights to stay conscious. But then, he can't. The G-forces are too much. Frank collapses in his seat. Unconscious. The rear of the plane, defenseless. Now it's just Vejtasa. Alone. Against 2 elite fighter pilots. 1 Zero locks into a deadly position. But Vejtasa counters with a desperate maneuver. The rolling scissors. A dangerous aerial dance. Both aircraft weaving back and forth, trying to outturn each other. One mistake, and it's over. Closer. Closer. They twist through the sky like predators locked in combat. Neither willing to give in. One of the Zeros suddenly stops firing. Vejtasa notices. Something's wrong. Has the enemy run out of ammo? Or is this something else? The Zero closes in. Closer than ever before. Too close. Its gun silent. Its path direct. A chilling thought hits Vejtasa. Is he about to be rammed? In World War II, desperation often meant one thing: sacrifice. But then, the truth reveals itself. It was a trick. The Zero pilot wasn't out of ammo. He was repositioning, setting up the perfect kill shot. Now the two aircraft are almost touching. Wingtip to wingtip. Close enough to see each other's faces. Two pilots. Two worlds. One moment. Time slows. There is no room for error. No room for fear. Only instinct. In a final desperate turn. It happens. The wings collide. Metal scrapes metal. Sparks explode in the air. Pieces tear away. For a moment, both aircraft lose control. The Zero spirals away. Damaged. Possibly doomed. But the Dauntless, somehow, holds together. This is what made it legendary. Its nickname? Slow, but deadly. But also unbreakable. Vejtasa grips the controls. Fights the aircraft. Stabilizes it. Regains control. The last Zero, damaged, low on fuel, low on options, breaks away. Disappears into the clouds. And just like that, it's over. Silence. The sky is empty again. Vejtasa looks back. Frank is still unconscious, but alive. They survived. Against all odds. Against superior aircraft. Against overwhelming numbers. They made it. When they finally returned, the story spread quickly. A dive bomber, fighting off Zero fighters, and winning. For his actions, Stanley Vejtasa was awarded his second Navy Cross. But this was just the beginning. Later in the war, he would become something even more legendary. An ace in a day, proving that what happened here was no accident. This battle wasn't just about survival. It was about something deeper. Skill over machine. Strategy over speed. Courage over fear. Because sometimes, the most dangerous weapon in the sky isn't the plane. It's the pilot inside it. And on that day, above the Pacific, a bomber proved it could fight like a fighter. If this story amazed you, hit like. Subscribe for more real war stories that sound like fiction, but aren't. Because history has stories more unbelievable than anything we can imagine. And this was one of them.